Alexey Arbatov. Presently, I am head of the Center for International Security in the Institute for World Economy and International Relations here in Moscow. I am full member of the Academy of Sciences. In the past, I was member of parliament for 10 years. I participated in START 1 negotiations, and so with SIPRI, Arms Control, Academy of Sciences, everything for me is together. In the area of arms control, there are two key challenges. One challenge is to understand that arms control now is more important than ever since probably Cuban Missile Crisis. Because for the first time during the past 50 years after Cuban Missile Crisis, we are facing a comprehensive crisis of arms control, which is literally falling apart. We have to understand that nuclear deterrence on its own will never ensure our security. On the contrary, without arms control, nuclear deterrence brings us to war, very close to war. And without arms control, every big political crisis or conflict brings us to the verge of nuclear catastrophe. The second thing is to understand that nuclear arms control is more important than any other political conflict or tension or mutual suspicions or mutual grievances. We eventually, whatever our present controversies are, eventually we will sort it out. And then others will come to take their place. That's the history of mankind, that's the history of international relations. But if we lose arms control, and nuclear weapons and nuclear deterrence, which has their own momentum, bring us to a nuclear catastrophe at any future crisis in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years, then all other problems will just become irrelevant. I would like to, for political leaders, foremost Russia and the United States, to understand that this is an area where they can bilaterally do a number of important things, which is very difficult to do in places like Syria or Ukraine or you name it, because a lot of actors are involved in other crises and other problems. Here, it's mostly bilateral and may be resolved relatively quickly. And they have to not to discuss it among other things. These discussions may continue forever until the next big crisis finishes us all. They have to put it apart to give it first priority because it's more important than anything else, and because it can be relatively easily resolved by making some important steps, saving what has remained of arms control, in particular INF Treaty, saving START Treaty by prolonging it and starting negotiations on the new treaty, dealing with other issues which are problem in arms control, dealing with nuclear proliferation. Trust is lacking now, but trust will not fall from the skies. As often as political leaders meet, if they do not sign particular agreements dealing with important concrete problems, they will not develop trust. Maybe individually they will be friendly, but their states will be enemies, and so we will not move forward. I cannot say who is in the best position to act, but I think who must be in such position. Russia must be in such position, because apparently the United States presently, with their domestic political chaos, are not in a position to take initiative in their hands. So it's Russia which has to play the role of responsible nuclear superpower, and that would be much better manifestation of Russian role and responsibility than operation in Syria or in Crimea or in Yemen or Libya or anywhere else. That is something which is required from global superpower. And so I'm sure that Russia must do that. Whether it will do that or not, I cannot judge, but I hope it will.